Hello and welcome back to another pull list edited video here on the John's Comics with Kids YouTube channel. This is my weekly look at what books I'm picking up on New Comic Book Day. If you want to know what I'm getting, stick around and watch this video. The pull list is back. It is Thursday, and we are looking ahead at the first week of February 3rd. What books are coming out? I got a ton of books first week of the month. This is going to be a big week for me. I'm nearing to 15 books, which is enormous for me. Those that know me know I'm trying to cut down. I had 4 books one week, not too long ago, but somehow this week I got close to 15 green light picks plus a few yellow lights. So let's dive right into Marvel, and it is King in Black. Crazy right now. Starting with Venom issue 33. These have been great. They killed him, man. They killed Eddie Brock. He dead. He died. Spoiler alert. Holy cow. So I have no clue where this is going to go. There's technically 3 issues of this left. Donny Cates has announced he is done at issue 35. And that the end of the run, you know, it's technically 200 in the overall legacy numbering. I don't know. But he's done. So this is 33. We got 2 more after this. It's going to end just after King in Black. Whew. This cover A is amazing, but there's a ton of covers. There's a ton of covers for this. King in Black has been a lot of fun. It's a roller coaster ride. Huge moments. I'm reading some of the tie-ins, but not all of them. Let me know down in the comments below what are some of the tie-ins you've been reading and loving. I'm going to mention one of them here in a little bit. But yeah, Venom has been great. The stuff going on with Dylan, powerful. I'm looking forward to seeing where does this go for Dylan. What's his story going to be in this King in Black and then afterwards as well. Definitely snagging this book. There are a couple of cool variants. Stegman's doing a variant. Really, obviously great. He's just enormously talented guy. And then there's a Beta Ray Bill first appearance, a 337 homage cover that's pretty cool. But there's, I mean, again, it's a Venom book. It's in the middle of King in Black. The number of online variants is through the roof. You can definitely find something cool if you go searching around. There's just a billion of them. So Venom 33 is a yes. Then we've got Rise of the Valkyrie issue 2. This is from the King in Black tie-ins. I loved issue 1. It's the Sentry storyline. Yeah, I'm in all that. You love the Sentry. Definitely interested in that. So issue 2 is dropping. I think this is a 4-issue series scattered across King in Black. I'm hopeful they bring Bob back. I want this to be the end of the Sentry. You know, he was killed. So hopefully they bring him back in a cool way. Valkyrie is escorting him to the afterlife, but hopefully something goes wrong here and they're able to bring him back again. So yeah, definitely snagging this. There's also a King in Black Black Knight tie-in. This is a one-shot issue. A bunch of people telling me they were excited about this. Simon Spurrier is writing it. I think he's really talented. So I'm definitely looking at this. I will probably grab this. This is a yellow light, but more than likely it's going to end up being a green light that I snag. So definitely interested in this Black Knight. I'm curious what his sword, this powerful black sword, what it means when fighting the evil darkness of the King in Black. Could be cool. Then we've got King in Black Marauders issue 1. You're taking my favorite X book and combining it into King in Black. I am all about that. Definitely want to see what some of the X-Men are doing battling this King in Black Null invasion. This looks really cool. I love the B cover for this. Really cool stylized B cover. I want to see Kitty Pryde and her little team of misfit pirate mutants get into this. So another cool King in Black tie-in that I'm snagging. That leaves 2 more books over at Marvel. I've got X Factor issue 7, which I liked the last issue. I was surprised because I was having a lot of doubt for this run. So I liked the last issue, looking into the problems they're having right now with resurrection and death. The X Factor team investigating who is ready for resurrection or not. So I'm going to snag issue 7 and definitely get into that. The other mutant book I'm grabbing is Hellions, issue 9. And they've got a cool Sinister cover. Looks like something's going on with Mr. Sinister. Is he going missing? Are his Hellions going to have to go and look for him? This is the funniest book I'm reading at Marvel. Really entertaining. There's a cool Psylocke cover here. My hope is that Hellions stays funny and continues to be a book that makes me laugh, because then it's just going to be staying on my pull list for quite a long while. So this is Hellions issue 9, and yeah, that's a green light. And that finishes off Marvel. Let's see what's happening over at DC. DC, I got 2 green lights over there, 2 books that I'm picking up because I'm just super pumped on Far Sector Wonder Woman, Joelle Jones. I really loved issue 1 so much that I went back and bought the Jenny Frison cover because I had to have it. I love Joelle Jones's art. I like her writing, so I'm all in on this. I want to read issue 2. It's the end of the storyline. 2 issues, no anthology, no nothing, just straight up Jones greatness. So I'm definitely snagging this. I might even go for both covers because there's a Jenny Frison cover again. It's just a good read. And if you have skipped out on Future State, I would recommend grabbing this because it's 2 issues and they're really good, and they're not like $9.99 Batman books where I have to read about the Outsiders or something instead of Batman. This is just straight up Wonder Woman, Joelle Jones, top to bottom. So $4.99, I'm in. I'm totally in on that. The other green light for me is Far Sector, issue 10. It's a great story. We're down to the last 3 issues of this story, and I'm just super pumped on this character, Joe, as a Green Lantern. Really, really a great character. I'm sad that it's coming down to the end, but I'm hoping they finish strong with this great murder mystery on another planet. It's a great detective story, which is what my favorite Green Lantern stuff usually is, cosmic detectives. So I am all in on this issue right here. There's a Yasmin Putri variant. That's this other variant. Really cool. She is incredibly talented as well. So yeah, I might try to snag that. That's Far Sector 10, my other green light. That leaves me with 1 yellow light over at DC. We're getting into stuff that's not Future State related. I think this is just a straight up DC story. This is Man-Bat, issue number 1. Might be something to check out. I don't know anything about the creative team behind this. I like the Man-Bat character. He was really cool in Justice League Dark. So I kind of dig the character, but it sounds like he's gone off his meds again, or at least had some kind of an attack, and now he's going wild. It's getting crazy. So he's attacking Gotham, it looks like. So what's it going to mean for the Bat team? Who's going to go after him? I'm interested in maybe skimming through to see how the art is, if this is a good thing to check out, maybe buy. I don't know. So it's a yellow light for Man-Bat issue number 1. I will say, not a fan of the cover art, so hopefully the interior art, way better. So that's my DC yellow light for this week, Man-Bat issue 1. Done with Marvel, done with DC. I got a ton of indies, so let's hop over there. I got some big picks over there at Image because they're doing 2 facsimiles. Image doesn't usually do that kind of thing, but they're for this guy right here, the Savage Dragon. They're doing facsimiles for Graphic Fantasy 1 and for Graphic Fantasy 2. For those that don't know much about Savage Dragon, he was originally a character named Paul the Dragon, Paul Dragon. And his first 2 appearances were in books that Eric Larson, the creator, drew in. They were called Graphic Fantasy, and they were sort of indie-published, self-published books. There's not many copies. They are ghosts. They're really hard to find, and they're usually massively expensive. He wasn't called the Savage Dragon. He was just known as the Dragon. And I've always wanted to read these books. I've always wanted to find copies of these books. But again, I'm not ready to pay a car payment to get these. But to get facsimiles for each of these, I am all about it. So I'm going to be snagging these because they go with my first Savage Dragon appearance here in Megaton. I'm a big Savage Dragon fan, so yeah, I'm down for this, and I'm going to be snagging both of these facsimile editions. I'm curious to see just how they hold up all these years later. I'm looking forward to that. Image also has a new number 1. This is Deep Beyond, issue number 1. This is a Mirka Andolfo written book, and she's doing the cover A, or maybe the cover B, I can't remember which one. So she's involved with this story having to do with deep underwater in the future and people trying to stave off the end of the world by researching deep under the ocean. So it does have a post-apocalyptic vibe to this plot, but it sounds more like science-based So there's a big science side to this, and exploring deep underwater. So you got sci-fi, ocean exploration, futuristic. It sounds like a lot of cool things that I like in one book. I'm also interested in the covers because there's a David Mack cover that I think is fire. Just a really cool cover. Tentacle covers. Robert the G-Spot Galvin will be pumped on some tentacle stuff going on in these covers. There's a Momoko variant as well. This is an image number one. There's a bunch of covers. You're gonna have a lot of options for this. But image number ones are my jam. I try to always check out the ones that pique my interest or have interesting talent behind them. I like Merca, so I'm going to probably be grabbing issue number one of Deep Beyond. And that's it over at Image. Let's see what else we got. A big week for IDW right now. We got Kanto finishing its second story arc. This is the Hollow Men, issue 5. I'm a big Kanto fan. I've been very pleased with the art and the story that they've been presenting each time around. They took a little break between the first volume and the second volume, and I have a feeling they'll do the same here, but the Hollow Men has been really good. I'm almost fully caught up. I think I'm missing issue 4, and this will be issue 5, and that will finish this second story arc. It's just a really vibrant universe. I really think that the two talents behind this, Zucker and Boer, are doing a great job, and I look forward to more. I may go back to reading this in trades for the third story arc when that eventually comes along, because then my girls can read it as well and get more into it. So, but it's just been great. A really, really great IDW book. So yeah, Kanto is on the green light list. I've also got Sea of Sorrows, issue 3. I've been enjoying this as well. These cover A's are amazing. This story is like a creepy underwater end of World War I kind of a story. It's got treasure hunters, monsters. There's a film noir almost aspect to like how people are stabbing each other in the back. There's some really cool things going on here. So I've been enjoying the first 2 issues. I'm looking forward to the rest of this arc. The style is very unique. I never read The Road of Bones, but that's the same gentleman doing this. So I'm now curious to read Road of Bones. My man, just a Rican and His Comic, big fan of both. So yeah, I'm all about Sea of Sorrows issue 3. That leaves one more. There's an IDW number 1 this week. It's called Chained to the Grave, number 1. This is by Brian Level and Andrew, I'm going to struggle with his last name, Andrew Escala. They are artists and writers I'm not familiar with, but the story looks really interesting, genre kind of stuff about it's like a Western where a character is coming back from the dead to finish some unfinished business. There's a treasure involved, and there's bad guys involved, and there's the undead and cowboys. All of this is like, wow, what a wild idea. I'm curious enough to put this on the yellow light list and give it a shot. I love the cover A here. I don't see a variant, but I do dig the look of this cover A, and if the interior art is halfway decent, I'm going to probably snag this book. It's called Chained to the Grave. This is issue number 1. If you guys are familiar with the writers or artists of this, leave me a comment because I don't know them from anything, but this sounds interesting. And that's it at IDW. That leaves just 3 books left on my indies list, so let's see what we got. Kirkman Goodness in Firepower, issue 8. I'm catching up on this. I'm only 2-3 issues behind, so I'm looking forward to reading the rest of this and getting fully caught up. This is a karate iron fist kind of a world. There's been some really great action, some fun, interesting kind of family dynamics involved. So I'm definitely interested in reading more of this. I don't know if I'm going to transition into trade reading on this at some point, but for right now, I got a great deal snagging all the back issues for about $1 a piece through a sale at my shop. There's a trade paperback that's like the preview, or it's called Prelude, that leads into this, and now they're on issue 8. So if you wanted to catch up, you're not that many issues behind, you might be able to find them all at your shop. I was lucky enough to get pretty much everything but issue 4, which I bought off eBay. So I'm basically caught up now and really enjoying Firepower. Then we've got Luna, issue number 1, which I'm ready to call this a green light book. This is from Boom Studios. It's by the artist who did Faithless, So if you liked Faithless, and a little scantily clad excitement there, that was a really good read. Now we've got Luna issue 1. There's a Jenny Frison variant for this that's just gorgeous. This is set in the 60s and has to do with like a cult. This cult that is luring people in with promise of a better life. But there's obviously something sinister and secretive going on behind the scenes. I love these covers. They've got a fun retro style to them. If the book has the interior art to match, and of course, Maria Lovett does great interior artwork. I liked her Faithless work, so I'm curious if this is going to have the same quality level, and if it does, I'm just ready to call this a green light, at least for issue 1 to check it out. So this is Luna, issue number 1 from Boom Studios. That leaves me with one yellow light left. I know this has been a long video, and I'm going to have a tough time cutting this down so that we can get into the next show, but I've got Maniac of New York, issue number 1 from Aftershock. This has got a bit of a murder mystery science fiction vibe to it, a killer who can't be stopped, yet is rampaging free within a city, and 2 people who take it upon themselves to fix this problem. So if you like a good serial killer thriller kind of a story, this might be something to check out. Aftershock, generally been really, really great lately. I'm definitely curious about this book, and I may just end up adding it and making mine around 15 books that I'm getting this week, which is crazy. So this is Maniac of New York, issue 1 from Aftershock. I'm sorry that this was so long, but there's a ton of great books coming out. This is Tag Team Thursday. You probably came from just a Rican and His Comics. Now onto my show here at 6:45 Eastern now. Straight over to Old Wolf, because his show might have just started. I'm sorry I'm taking so long. The link is in the chat down below. Head over to Old Wolf's channel, and I'll see you guys back here next week for another poll list.